Tell us interesting stories about what's happening in the poker world. Every year, Hustler Casino Live hosts a Millions tournament, 4 consecutive days. The 2024 Million has also been held. Poker fans are in for a treat, for all its faults. But there's still plenty of gossip to go around. In this edition, Mr. Q takes a look at this edition of the $1 Million Race, and we'll talk about the behind-the-scenes and before-the-scenes stuff. Players take stock of who has the most money. A total of 14 players appeared in the second edition of the $1 Million Race. Action Dan from Canada saved a lot of money by starting his own business, and Texas Mike is a very rich man. Since the sale of the family business to an investment firm, he has started to let himself go, devote more time to poker. Alan Keating is a former professional poker player, now a billionaire who specializes in investments. Poker is more of a social tool for him. Doug Polk is a known poker player, always active on the poker circuit, although he wasn't able to open a new poker room in Farmers Branch. But he recently took over the poker room in San Antonio. It's kind of a lost cause. We're all familiar with star players like Tom Don, but he's got a lot of debtors. Some of these debts have been going on for 10 years. Tell us more about the other 9 players in alphabetical order. Brandon Stephen is a businessman. He owns 19 car dealerships, 60 health clubs, also has 2 field hockey teams. His business employs over 8,000 people. According to publicly available information in 2023, Brandon's worth $950 million. Charles Hook is most likely a professional poker player. His tournament record dates back to 2006, and he's involved in both online and offline tournaments and cash games. Hans has very little public information. He has publicly revealed his wealth, mainly from investments in virtual currencies. Peter's identity is unknown. He doesn't speak English. In July of 2023, first appearance on Hustler's live stream, his identity is described as a merchant. It's worth noting that Peter's first time on Hustler, it's with Brittany. And during the $1 Million Race broadcast, Brittany has been waiting for him outside the studio. It can be assumed that the two were either very good friends, either they are boyfriend and girlfriend. Santosh has only been on the poker scene for the last few years. He's a regular at Triton, owns a casino in India. Rahul, on the other hand, is a friend of Santosh's. There's no more information. Stanley Tang is from Hong Kong, one of the founders of DoorDash. He owns 4% of DoorDash. According to a Forbes analysis, as DoorDash share price declines, Stanley's fortune went from a peak of $2.2 billion down to $1.2 billion now. According to the high-stake poker website, Steve is a retired litigator from Chicago. He was a partner in the law firm of Queen Emanuel. The firm is one of the top law firms in the United States. Thomas wore a mask throughout the broadcast, but a man on Twitter named Thomas Keeling said himself as Thomas. According to his tweet about himself, he's the creative director of WPT and a partner at the Lodge. From his Twitter followers, there are tons of people from the poker community in there, including Tom Don, Ryan, Feldman, Hustler, and the Lodge, to name a few. So it's still plausible that he's Thomas. Also, he revealed on Twitter that he has an investor in the $1 Million Race. These 14 players, though some of their fortunes are unknown. But the richest could very well be Stanley Tang with $1.2 billion, and then Brandon Stephen at $950 million.